show here on WHUP. Well, we do tonight. Alex Blanco, a.k.a. Al Sylverfish, welcome to Pass the Hat. If you would be so kind to share a song with us, whatever you'd like to play, we would love to hear.
I had so many friends, more than fingers in my hands. We seemed so happy, no issues in disguise. We would get together like my family in the house. When life takes a turn, we don't know if we'll survive. All roads are closed, there is no way to get out. Streets are all deserted, there is nobody around. When we most need someone, the silence gets so loud. Oh, what a shame. Only true friends stick around. You don't see them, but they'll come. The true friends stick around. You don't see them, but they'll come. That is True Friends. And thank you very much for having me.
Al Sylverfish live here on Pass the Hat.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
That Taylor guitar puts up some sound, Bob, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does.
you.
I had to dial the gain down just a little bit because, bam.
Yeah.
Really nice.
So my wife told me when I'm gone, she's keeping the guitar.
And would that be in the next week or two? Or
I don't think. I mean, she's from Colombia, and she said if I don't behave, she's going to kill me twice, like Pablo Escobar did.
She probably knows how.
Yeah, she'll kill you, bury you, take you out again, and kill you again.
Kill you again.
that is
Yes.
vengeance.
Exactly.
And Alex, where did you grow up?
I was born and grew up in Argentina. So my southern accent is from the very south,
It's way farther south than me.
way.
Not just South Carolina or maybe
No,
Right.
or
Mississippi.
Florida. Yeah.
And so what brought you to the States?
I guess life. I guess I got married to an American girl. We lived there for a little bit, and then she wanted to go back to New York.
That does happen.
Yeah. So lived there for a couple of years. Then we moved down to Florida. Too hot, too humid. And we came to North Carolina. And we found out that in the summer it's about, no, it's maybe worse.
Yes.
At least in Florida, you get a nice little cooling drizzle
Yeah.
every
A
afternoon.
thunderstorm every afternoon.
Exactly.
And have we made things so miserable here for you in the last 6 months that you're ready to return to Argentina?
Well, not really. No. Well, I was in Argentina a couple of weeks ago seeing my dad. But I've been here since 97, so,
Yeah, okay.
you know, this is home. And later on I'll share something. I'll share a song that I wrote that I never played to the public. It's already registered, so they don't steal it, but it's my Carolina song.
Oh, excellent. Everyone has to have a good North Carolina song if you live in North Carolina.
Yeah.
We're going to talk in a little bit more, a little later in the show, about your music history and when you started writing songs and all of that sort of thing. But how about before that, one more of these fine originals?
All right. So this is about, most of my songs are things that happen for real.
Mm-hmm.
This one is not. I hope never happens to me. Because this is about my red Chevrolet.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Me and my shadow are the only things that I have left. You run away, my sweetheart, it will never be the same. You took my money, all my dreams, and my red Chevrolet. You took my money, all my dreams, and run away. No, no, no. You, me and my shadow are the only ones in this stretch. You left for something that I know is hard to guess. You took my money, all my dreams, and my red Chevrolet. You took my money, all my dreams, and run away. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You took my money, my red Chevy, and drove away. Me and my shadow are the only things that I have left. You took my money, all my dreams, and my red Chevrolet. You took my money, all my dreams, and right away. But this is not the end of the story. You came back for more, sifting through every pocket, taking some more along. But you came back empty-handed. Because you took my money, my red Chevy, and drove away. You took my money, my red Chevy, and drove away. You took my money, my red Chevy, and drove away.
Whew. Hard stop on that
Thank
one.
you. Thank you.
Al Sylverfish.
That was
live
my
here in
red
the studio.
Chevrolet.
I
And
think
you can find it on all the media, all the platforms.
We can find you on, for instance, Spotify.
Spotify. Al Sylverfish.
Al Silverfish with a Y.
With a Y. It's not the bug. It's Sylberfish.
And Al has a really nice website. I was just looking at it. Sylverfish, Sylverfish.com.
Yep.
All right.
That's it.
A lot of cool stuff around there. Me and my shadow are the only things I have left.
Yes.
Oh,
And she took my red Chevrolet.
I know
Yeah, there's
that
a
feeling.
joke in there somewhere of, man, I'm feeling miserable. My wife left me. She took everything. I really loved her so much, and she just drove away in my car. Man,
Yep.
I'm really going to miss that car.
Yeah. And I was about to look for a red Chevrolet, like a 1959. I saw one in, I think it was Jacksonville, North Carolina, somewhere there.
Just to make a video with it or post some pictures
No,
with it?
I would have loved to buy.
You want to steal it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll buy it. But my wife said, "Nah, what are you gonna do with that old car?" Well,
Be cool is what you're going to do with that old car.
exactly. Right around Hillsborough every weekend
Yeah.
on King Street and Chorton.
You can be in the parades, right? Don't they have the
Right,
old cars?
that
in the
too.
parades? Yeah. I really like that part in the middle of that song where all of a sudden you stopped and you went into the slow part. It's very dramatic.
Right.
Yeah,
like that.
slow
So-
in a minor key, too, right?
Does that happen in your songs very much? Well,
I think it does. I think that I try to build that up, and the next one probably I'm gonna play got a lot of that too. Yeah.
so you're writing your song along right at the beginning of it, just writing the first verse or two, and then you're thinking, well, I think maybe it needs a change of pace or something, or you just. It's nice that you're not boxed into this little dun-dun-dun-dun form.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you have the freedom to do things like that.
Yeah, I think it flows. Once I start, it's like up and down, right? It's like looking for a little drama. I mean, you said it.
Yeah, that was good.
So it's-
So back growing up in Argentina, was there much music in your home?
Kinda, but I was from the very beginning, and I don't know if you want to play something in the background.
No,
about
we
my-
want to
my
just
story.
hear your wonderful voice.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I started, and we'll play a little bit of. Started with the Beatles. I mean, I was born in '61, so that was in the, it was everywhere, and there was a lot. In Argentina, there is a lot of foreign influence, and that took me through, the the rock, what they call classic rock now, into maybe disco, new wave, punk, ska. I mean, all that. It's just when I put together the playlist for Spotify and for Pass the Hat in Spotify, it was like, whoa, man, hold on.
We've got the history of rock and roll in this playlist.
Yeah.
But I think what Kirk was getting at was, who persuaded you to pick up a guitar and start making music?
Persuaded me. I think they forced me to learn an instrument.
Wait, was it piano?
My mom and my dad. No, it was a guitar.
Oh, good.
I was going to this local conservatory there. It was just very sad and like gloomy. I mean, it was worse than school.
Yeah, that's not where music is supposed to happen.
Exactly, and it was like so dry. But so I was very good technically, but I didn't have any emotion in what I played. That's what my teacher told me. So I need to put a little more drama, again, the same word. I dropped it a few years later, but it was always around. I was always pick it up, maybe for a few months, and just play something, and then back again. So I really picked it up, on purpose when I was a teenager, for like 2-3 years.
But you had that basis, that kind of muscle memory, and kind of the basic structure of the things you needed to learn from when you were fairly young, even though you weren't necessarily into it.
That's right.
It was still sinking in.
That's right. And that happens to me with languages as well.
Oh, I imagine so.
Yeah. I experimented with Mandarin, Swahili,
Smart.
Turkish. People, answer me in their language, and I say, well, stop, English or Spanish. Don't I don't know anymore. So,
or at least go really slowly.
Right, exactly.
I'm thinking of the possibilities of a song where we could have a song with maybe 6 or 8 different verses, each one, and like one in Swahili, one in Mandarin.
Right?
Yeah.
That would be fascinating.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Something to go for.
Yeah, I have a very good friend of mine, Cliff Cunningham. He played protest songs in. He just finished his. He retired from Duke. He played a lot of protest songs in the '60s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he grew up in different parts of Latin America, but he's an American boy. Mm-hmm. So he was sending me messages. We should write something about these times. We should. So
yes,
and we are in songwriting times. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And so before we move on to our next live song, we talked about starting to play guitar and all of that. But songwriting is something different. Did songwriting happen pretty much right away for you, or a little bit later?
Well, about that time, I guess I was a weird kid because my mother took me to a psychologist. I guess I was either too smart or not, and so you should journal. You should do some journaling. Just write.
That was good advice.
Yeah, and I was 9, 10. I started writing things, writing, and I wrote all my life. All my life, I have thoughts, I have ideas, I have things that I want to just express just to myself. And just pick a piece of paper and write. Nowadays, it's not the same with a computer. You need that touch of the pen in your hand.
You need that
and the paper.
Physicality, the feeling it scratch on the paper.
Exactly.
And somehow this journal gave rise to being matched up with music and turned into songs?
It did, and actually, I think it was about 6, 7 years ago, I did some poetry, and I was very excited when I saw my poem in the Scarborough poetry circle there. They have like a newsletter.
Oh, yeah, that's big.
Yeah. And it was my poetry of, published in one of their quarterly journals. And I was like, wow. I still have it. It's just,
Yeah. Nice.
So you mentioned preferring to write the old school way. Mm-hmm. Is that how you track ideas for songs now? Do you literally write them down? Because I think most people these days are talking into their phone.
I do. I'd rather, put them in writing. Same with the music, right? Mm-hmm. With chords or, progressions. I just write them down rather than
That's legitimate for me. When I have ideas, I will speak them into my phone and store them in notes there. And it's a great way to save ideas. But if I write it down, I never have to think about it again because it's in my memory forever now because I wrote it down.
That is true. That is true. So the only time that I do the recording on the phone is when I'm driving.
Thank you.
Yeah. When I'm driving, just turn it on and go at it.
Yeah, I don't want to see you driving down I-40 traffic with your pad
Trying
and your
to
pencil in
write
your
mine.
hand.
No.
Everybody, we're enjoying our time here on Past the Hat with Alex Blanco, a.k.a. Al Sylverfish. And Alex, I think maybe it's time for our next song, is it?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
I can do that. Another dramatic song. And
All right.
when people ask me to describe my style, I call it melodramatic pop because it's a mix of stuff. But except for my Red Chevrolet, the other songs are all things that happened or feelings that I had very real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the next song is Relationships.
Uh-oh.
Imagine that title, right? Yeah. Relationships that come and go and will never be the same because I know I have abused the system. Let them all down, left many bodies behind, and I want to apologize because I know I have abused the system. But now that I broke it all apart, I have to apologize. No time for alibis. Relationships, oh no. Relationships, oh no. Relationships, please don't. Relationships that come and go. Relationships that come and go and will never be the same because I know I have abused the system. All the trust that you put in my hands, I've forsaken it and rip it all apart. I have abused the system. But now that I broke it all apart, I have to apologize. No time to agonize. Relationships, oh no. Relationships, oh no. Relationships, please don't. Relationships that come and go.
Al Sylverfish live here on Pass the Hat.
Much. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're not done yet.
I know.
We're just getting started.
All right.
Alex, we mentioned at the top of the show about that you're a host of the show that follows Past the Hat, and you've been doing that for a year and a half or 2 years or so, do you think?
Almost 2 years.
Yeah.
It's going to be 2 years in a couple of months.
And so how did that come about? Had you done radio before?
Pirate radio. When I was in high school, there
I
was some...
thought that's what we were.
Yeah. Some
You guys are just testing the FCC right
around
now.
Town.
Yeah.
And we had our station. We didn't last too long. It was a few months.
And
But we had fun with that.
Uh-huh.
So you knew about WHUP, obviously, because you were around here. And had you already known Bob Bertman?
No. Actually, how all started is I was living in Durham, and I heard WHP. I liked it, and somewhere they posted that they were looking for volunteers or shows. I don't remember really well. This is about 7 years ago or more.
He was probably listening to Pass the Hat. He's just embarrassed to say it.
No, I wouldn't be embarrassed. But like 5 years later, or 6 years later, I get an email saying, "Hey, we found your request to help us with the radio, and you would like to know if you're still interested in helping."
Boy, it took us a while to get organized, didn't it?
I don't know. But it did. And
It was a good move, though.
it was a good move. So I told my wife, "Listen, I applied for this about 6 years ago, and they just not come around. I'll do it. I still can do it." So proposed a couple of shows. I wanted to have my show. A couple of shows. One still that I have to probably convince Bob to give me more airtime to have my other show. That is different from what I'm doing right now with the Latin Alternative Music Show.
So can you tell us a little bit about the Latin Alternative Music Show?
Definitely. So last year when I started, I wanted to do just to attract audience that a little older, closer to my age. So I did the first hour of classics. Second hour was classic and oldies, and the second hour was new and upcoming. This year I changed, and there is so much material out there with new stuff coming out in different genres, different countries, even different languages within the Latin environment. I play French, Brazilian, Italian, and the other day I was playing some Quechua from the high plateau in Bolivia. This new music coming out, it sounded like K-pop, it sounded like Korean pop, but it's coming from the high plateau in the Andes, and my hat off to that. So the show is very eclectic, a lot of different type of music, different genre, and I just want to have people look at how vast and open is culture in many different ways, right? Music is one of them. But just when people think Spanish or Latin, usually there is like some idea people have that sometimes is not exactly what it is.
You mean
I
it's
have
not
a very
just,
good friend of mine.
it's not just all mariachi bands?
Exactly. I have a very good friend of mine that actually I'm in that band. I play guitar for Ancestor Piratas. His name is Renzo Ortega, and Renzo is an artist. He's a painter. He had, internships at Duke. He teaches painting, and also, I'm supporting his band. And we always talk about that struggle. That he's from Peru, and when they invite him over, it's like they're expecting to see an Inca kind of a vibe, and no, he's punk.
Oh yeah, you got to play the
cumbia punk.
The pan pipes if you're from Peru, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's not it, right? There is so much, and so much going on in culture that you can do. I mean, I play electronica. I play what I love, dark wave, which is electronica, but darker. And all that's coming. I mean, beautiful music coming from all over Latin America and Europe.
We know the time it takes to prepare a show, but for us, it's not nearly what you're doing. We, from 6 to 6:30, Bob, we prepare our own little list to share with people based on our theme. But Alex, you're for 2 hours every week, and it must take tremendous amount of preparation time to get your show ready.
Not really, because I'm already, have my style of doing it. So knowing music, probably I don't think the hardest part, but what really I put attention to it is how the songs are pretty much following each other. Like trying to find some sort, because some music is like very, punchy, very, and some other music is a little more melodic. And so I'm trying to follow the vibe so I don't drive crazy my listeners.
Well, everybody, we know that you want to tune into Alex's show, and it couldn't be easier this evening that you just get
Stick
on
around.
WHUPFM.org right after ours. If you're going on our live stream, you already have returned to WHUPFM.org to hear Alex's playlist over our last 30 minutes. You'll be right there, situated in your easy chair, and can listen to this wonderful show. And the nice thing about your show, Alex, and all the shows at WHUP, they're so diverse.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, if you just go on the website and hit shows and scroll down, see the variety of topics that we have, informational shows, educational shows, and especially music shows that we have. And it is stunning. It's a tremendous resource for the community that Alex is a significant part of.
And speaking of people listening, you may not be in your easy chair. You may be like Kim and Lucy Lane in the seats of your car, and they say hi, and they are enjoying the show.
Excellent. Well, Bob, we had mentioned before, and we are approaching the top of the hour, and so we will use up a little bit of time to orient people that we'd said quickly about that we're streaming. For those who only know about the radio station, that we're streaming our show every week out there, video streaming. And how does that work, and where is it again?
Well, how it works is magic. Where you can find it is on your favorite streaming services, and your favorite streaming services are Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You look for us at WHUP Pass the Hat. That's at WHUP Pass the Hat. And you can find the live video there. You can go to Facebook, and Twitch keeps those live videos for 2 weeks. So you can watch this one live, and then at your leisure, you can go back and watch last week's show also. If you go out to YouTube, you can watch this one live, but they keep an amazing archive of all of these live streams going back for several years. So you can spend the next months just going back through the archives and searching by name and finding cool local artists that you want to hear more music from, and it's all just out there. But of course, that live stream lasts for only an hour, from 6:30 to 7:30 while we're live here on Friday evenings. So you'll want to come back to WHUPFM.org, or if you're here in Hillsborough, FM 104.7 after the live stream ends, because as Kirk pointed out, our show doesn't end, just the live stream. And then we'll hear, starting at 6:30, a playlist that Al brought in for us to listen to, and he'll provide us some intros and outros and kind of explain why this particular song is important to him, why he thinks you need to hear it, and what it means to his musical journey. So it's going to be fun.
One other wonderful thing about WHUP that we haven't shared with you yet, that all of our shows here on WHUP, including Pass the Hat and Al's Latin Alternative Music Show, are archived, available on demand 24/7. Just go on the main page of the website, WHUPFM.org, click shows, scroll down, and all of Alex's 2 years of shows sitting right there. You can just listen to any number of them, and would make a wonderful party. Just call your friends over.
Listen to the music.
That's it.
Put the tequila on ice.
It is a fun show, too, because as you said, you mixed the show up between kind of old in the news in the first half of the show and new in the second half.
Last year. This year, I'm doing all new. There is so much.
Oh, there's just so much all new stuff. But it's just a fun mix.
Yes.
But and y'all don't go away. I know we've been talking a lot. We're going to make Al play us some more music here in a moment. But
first, we are encumbered to say we are WHUP FM Hillsborough. The show is Pass the Hat, and we are so fortunate to have an hour 2 sponsor, Bob.
That's right. Support for this second hour of Pass the Hat is sweetly provided by Matthews Chocolates, 104 North Churton Street, Hillsborough, North Carolina, the finest in chocolate and chocolate accessories for all of your chocolate needs. And let's face it, we all have chocolate needs. There is a holiday coming up. I don't know what it is. Oh, yes, I do. It's 4th of July. Every holiday.
That one has been canceled.
Oh, it's been canceled? Anyway.
We're going to be working every holiday.
Soon after that is my birthday, which is definitely a chocolate holiday. So y'all make your plans. Don't show up for any particular holiday and just expect to buy a big pile of chocolate at Matthews. Go over there and place an order, and he will custom make whatever you need, and it will be amazing. Also, best coffee in Hillsborough.
Yeah, time to get ourselves back into the live music. Al, and if you'd be so kind.
Sure, of course. The next one is a new song that I haven't played before, and well, you'll get the theme.
All right.
Yeah, and it's all about situations in my life that go on and then inspire me to write. Why are we here in this world we come to live, yet live to die? Now, trapped in this universe, death is just another phase, we're back to dust. Why? It seems so far away. You could never tell that day will come. Now, it seems so near. It is almost here, the day to die. Why do we have to be so sad if we believe in the fairy tale at the other side? Tell me why do we have to be so sad if we believe in the fairy tale at the other side? Why do we have to be so sad if we believe in the fairy tale at the other side? Tell me why do we have to be so sad if we believe in the fairy tale at the other side?
Sylverfish, live here in the studio. I like
So
the
what's
big
it-
side.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
live, but the song is about that.
What's the answer to that question? That was
Because
rhetorical. Right? We're not supposed to answer it.
oh, that's it.
It's supposed to make
It's an
us-
open question.
Yes.
Yeah, you just let
Nobody
it hang, let it
knows.
hang, let it hang there. So Al, you in addition to playing solo, also play in a band or bands also.
Yeah. So I helped my friend Renzo Ortega with his band or his project Ancestor Piratas, and it's cumbia punk. I play electric guitar. I was honored. One of the shows, last show, somebody said that I sounded like the guitarist in The Clash,
All right.
which I loved,
Uh-huh.
and well, great. Yep.
So, do you have gigs coming up, either solo or with the band, that people can come out
we
and see?
have a couple of gigs coming up in September and October. I believe in October is Club Neptune in Raleigh.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're playing there, and we're gonna play however you said it, Saxapaha. Is that the right way?
Pretty close, yeah.
You're going to be living near there. You better learn how to say saxophone.
Yes. Well, we're gonna be playing one
that
of the
was good.
Saturdays in September. So yeah, we're gonna be playing there.
I'm not going to say it.
Speaking of towns and pronunciation, and anybody can contact our Facebook page and let us know. There is a controversy that goes out I never considered it a controversy. But between here and Rougemont, about halfway, is a town, I'll call it, spelled Schley. We were always told by the old-timers who lived around us when we moved in, it was Sly.
Yes.
Sly. And then I ran into this woman from work who had moved out there and knew different old-timers, and she said, no, that's right, it's not Sly, it's Schley. So, Bob, would you know?
The first one is right.
Sly.
From everyone that I've talked to, it's Sly, like S-L-Y, only like you're a little bit drunk, so it has a little bit of S-H in the front, so kind of Schley. But it's definitely not Schley. That's what a non-native would think looking at the signs, that it looks like it should be Schley.
Maybe
But
my friend wasn't drunk enough when she heard.
that's probably it.
Yeah.
Taste some of the local spirits, y'all.
Yeah, but also you have Meben.
It's
Mebane?
not Mebane, Mebane.
Okay.
Or Hillsborough,
Hillsborough.
Durham.
And the one everyone always gets wrong because it's spelled Wilson. Everyone knows that it's Wilson.
Oh, with a T.
Yeah, there's a T in there that it's
Silent
Silent.
T.
no, it's the
No,
opposite.
it's
It's the opposite. It's a spoken, but it's not in the letters.
It's in invisible ink.
It's an invisible T. Yes.
Oh, jeez. Alex, as you had shared that you like to use paper, as do I, when working on songs, and you still kind of keep a ledger or a journal for your notes and song ideas. So these ideas, do they come, you've done some poetry. Do they start with a poem, or do they start with your on the guitar playing some chords, or you see something in life or something in your personal life that affects you? Or is any one of those like the main way a song happens?
I think it's all of the above.
Okay.
But I just start writing, and my end in mind probably is writing a song, so I'm trying to rhyme as much as possible. But sometimes when they don't rhyme, they make more sense. So I try to find. I mean, the process. I just can't describe it in a way that is logical, because it's very organic. It just happens.
It's magic.
You grew up as a child learning a different language, right?
I grew up as a child. That's true.
You did grow up as a child.
That's
I think
true.
most of us have done that. Not everybody.
I wasn't this old
But
when I was born.
my point being, at least in my brain, it would be difficult to write a song in a different language, just because you don't kind of have that rhyming dictionary in your head, and maybe not all the various idioms that you need to kind of fit in.
True.
Is that really a hindrance, or does that really
I
open
developed
doors?
probably that as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like after. Yeah, it may coincide with being here for a while, like after 10 years or something, when you start like, you're very, flexible with the language. So you may say have a sentence in Spanish and finish it, but in English,
Right.
Spanglish. But no, really. I had a boss once that said, "How can you switch from Spanish to English automatically?" I said, "I don't know. I just do, because you think in English, but I can tell when people are learning or they are not exposed to the culture and using it every day, that they think in Spanish but they talk in English,
And they're translating it on the
so
fly. Yeah.
the grammar there is kind of weird. You understand what they're saying, obviously, but it's different.
Well,
but I think
where verbs go and where nouns go are different in the different languages.
Correct. And I always say that, when you are communicating with people, especially on the phone nowadays, usually everybody uses WhatsApp because it's free, and most around the world you use that.
Mm-hmm.
Latinos or Latin culture, they like to leave messages. They use the voice feature. Americans, they like to type. And I think I found the reason. It's my own theory, obviously. I'm not a linguistics like my daughter that is a graduate student in linguistics.
Congratulations to her, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah. She did all by herself. She's paying for it.
Yes.
So, good. So, but I think it's because in English you use 1/3 of the words that you use in Spanish to say the same thing, and that's proven.
So it's easier to type.
It's easier to type, and you with a couple of words you got the meaning. In Spanish, that may not mean anything. You have to say it because of the intonation, idioms, or
Yes,
anything else.
yes.
That's my own theory. It makes sense to me. But I always say, guys, I'm driving, or I'm at a show. Don't leave a voice message because I'm not going to be able to hear you.
Can't hear it.
Type it.
Bob, this thing about rhymes, I was thinking that in a way, what songwriters struggle with as we move along is to not have those obvious rhymes. And so maybe having English as your second language, you're not stuck with those obvious rhymes, and because they become trite or overly familiar.
Oh, yes, and maybe the false rhymes don't feel so false, and you have new doors opened up to you.
What I try and find are what they call near rhymes. It sort of rhyme. It sounds similar, but you wouldn't call it a rhyme.
Yep.
It helps the flow of the song.
I guess that's what I meant by false rhymes. False is probably not the right word because it has negative connotations. Just near rhymes is better.
So, and I think what Alex has done with what you've done with your songs is similar. That you're not a prisoner of rhymes. Sometimes they happen, sometimes they don't. But everything tends to flow together just really nicely.
That is a song title right there, "Prisoner of Rhymes." Actually, that's probably a song for a rap song, a title for a rap song.
Could be.
I'll wait for your next appearance. You'll have our "Prisoner of Rhymes" rap song.
Rap?
Yeah.
I'm going to need to learn that genre because I don't do it.
I think you could do it.
Yeah?
No doubt.
But speaking of doing things, can you play us another song?
Sure. How many more are we going to play? Because I have a few more.
A few tops.
You've done 4, and I think you said you had maybe 7.
We can do 7.
So let's plan on that.
So I'm going to mix a little bit. So this is a song that I actually wrote when I came to live to Hillsborough.
All right.
Last year. And speaking about the 2 languages, it started in English. But then it started coming up to me in Spanish. How I do this in Spanish? So I'm going to play the Spanish version first.
Awesome.
It's slower because I feel that it flows better. So let's give it a try. And the song is called Carolina is My Home.
All right.
En español, Carolina es mi hogar. Okay.
Este lugar al que llamo hogar hace mucho tiempo que ya ni sé cuándo la vida ocurrió para mí. Durante años subí, bajé montañas y valles de un pueblo montañés, pero aquí estoy donde quería estar. La vida me llevó a lugares lejanos que ni siquiera había escuchado, pero siempre sano y salvo volví. Cuando pensé que encontré mi norte, un viaje vacío en busca de más, volví al hogar. Este sur que conozco más. No hay otro lugar donde ir. Es aquí donde quiero vivir. En Carolina. Carolina es mi hogar. Y es este al que llamo hogar. No importa cuándo ni por cuánto más, es Carolina. Carolina es mi hogar. Es Carolina. Carolina es mi hogar. Y cuando menos lo esperabas, tu vida sigue y sigue sin parar hasta que todo para esperándose en tu hogar. Solo quiero que al final de mi viaje mi vida continúe aquí entre montañas, islas, playas de aquí. Los bosques abran mi nombre, aves y venados cantarán un adiós, haciendo con un eco como fuego abrasador. Las cascadas limpiarán mis faltas como las aguas del lago Jordán, hacia que pueda volar por esta tierra y más. No hay otro lugar donde ir, es aquí donde quiero morir, en Carolina. Carolina es mi hogar. Y es aquí al que llamo mi hogar. No importa cuándo ni por cuánto más, es Carolina. Carolina es mi hogar. Es Carolina. Carolina es mi hogar.
Al Sylverfish, live here on Pass Ahead. I was just checking the Facebook live stream because I know it does real-time captioning.
Excellent.
It didn't do it right.
All right. Well,
It was interesting looking at it, though.
Yeah, sure.
So that was your Spanish version of that song, and
Yeah.
you're going to play us an English version here in a few minutes?
Yes, I will.
That should be interesting. Because I heard words in there, I was trying to make sure. I'll hear the English version, and I'll think of the words that I heard were the right words.
Didn't Kim say that I wanted to learn Spanish?
Yes.
You should have understood part of it.
Well,
Maybe not.
Wanting to learn and actually learning are two very different things.
It is.
I was an exchange student in France in high school, so in high school I was reasonably fluent. I could walk around France and talk to French people. I did reach that stage in my senior year of thinking in French rather than, as you were saying, thinking in your native language and translating it kind of as you're talking, which always sounds a little stilted, and the subject, verb, noun doesn't actually always go in the right place.
Correct.
And so I felt really confident about that. And then 20 years later, I went to France thinking, oh, yeah, I could speak French. No, I could speak it, but I could not understand a word anybody was saying. It was just way too fast.
I can relate to that very, very well because we were planning our trip to Europe.
Uh-huh.
So my teenage daughters, especially Sophia, the linguistics graduate, she would talk in French and everything. And for 6 months, I was doing online classes and practicing. Oh, man, when I got there, we ordered food. They would get her food and not mine because they didn't understand me.
What are you ordering?
They would be looking at me like, what is this guy saying? So, yeah, it happened to me too.
Yep. I was there with my brother's little Japanese wife who I didn't think even spoke English very well. But she did the same thing. She took all these online courses before our trip to France, and she was fluent. She was ordering food for me in the restaurants, which I found very embarrassing.
Look at that. So when I was studying Mandarin here at NC State, I did that for 2 years because at that time I was working for a Chinese company,
Right.
which is very prominent in the area.
Yep.
And but I was studying because I just wanted to learn. And we would go to Gourmet Kingdom in Scarborough to practice with a friend of mine to practice our Mandarin. So we would order food and everything in Mandarin. It was very exciting. Actually, I was at Gourmet Kingdom a week ago, and well, it was very sad because the place is just
It's not what it once was?
Not the same.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
But I do applaud you for learning Mandarin, because that's something I'd always had in the back of my mind, that me also working in the IT business, I need to learn how to speak Mandarin.
Exactly.
And also just because China has become such a major influence in the world, it would behoove all of us to be able to communicate.
Exactly.
Oh, well. Speaking of communicating, are you going to play us the English language version of this song now?
Sure.
This is the place that I called home long time ago. Don't even know when life chose this place for me. Through the years I went up and down like the hills and valleys in that mountain town, but here I am, where I wanted to be. Life took me in unexpected places that I never knew ever existed, but I always came back home harm-free. When I thought I found my north, an empty right, looking for more, I came back home to the south. I know there is no other place to go. This is where I belong, in Carolina. Carolina is my home. And it's here that I call home. No matter since or for how long, it's Carolina. Carolina is my home. It's Carolina. Carolina is my home. And when you least expect it, your life goes on and on for ages till you drop, hoping to be at home. I hope at the end of my trip life will keep me here, right here, still between the mountains and the beautiful beach. Forests will remember my name. A deer and bird sing a farewell, echoing the trail like a burning flame. Waterfalls will clean up my glide the waters of Lake Jordan, so I can fly all over this land. There is no other place to go. It's here where I belong, in Carolina. Carolina is my home. And it's here that I call home. No matter since or for how long, it's Carolina. Carolina is my home. Carolina, Carolina is my home. It's Carolina, Carolina is my home. Yeah, it's Carolina, Carolina is my home. And yes, Carolina is my home.
Al Sylverfish live here in the studio. I like that song, Carolina is my home.
Thank you.
Because I am a native North Carolinian.
Awesome.
And I kind of If I were to choose between the two, I like the Spanish language one better. I don't know why. It seems to
Well, for
flow.
this other one, I need a banjo.
Yes, that's probably what's
I don't know
missing.
how to play the banjo, but I pictured it a little more bluegrassy.
Yeah. Have you considered marrying the two versions together so you do like a verse in Spanish and a verse in English? Would that even work?
I don't know. Marriage is not an easy thing. So,
Legit.
Yeah, exactly.
Takes a lot of work, a lot of compromise.
Yeah, exactly. Marrying Spanish and English. Okay.
I'm thinking it would be a good way to teach people different words,
Of
different
course,
language.
Yes. Yeah, that should be a third version.
Yes.
Remix.
Yeah, the radio remix. Yes.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, Alex, we are getting towards the end of our live stream period. We've got just a few more minutes. Have you got a song to play us out?
I think I can play.
Don't say Wagon Wheel.
No, I won't. But I want to play another new one that is kind of on the sad side of things.
That's a good way
Very
to end. That's a
sentimental.
closer right there.
Sentimental, yeah. Summer is gone, so is your love for me. Summer is gone, so is your love for me. Always happen together. It just happened again. When you're happy and unguarded, you will suddenly awake. Summer is gone, so is your love for me. Summer is gone, so is your love for me. You feel love is eternal, just like crystal it breaks when you take it all for granted. It will leave you in pain. Summer is gone, so is your love for me. Summer is gone, so is your love for me. I will love you forever, no matter the weight. Not having you ever, I'd rather go insane. I will love you forever, no matter the weight. I'd rather go insane.
Al Sylverfish,
Thank you very much.
live here playing us a sad song. Y'all, summer is not over. You still have time to go out, fall in love, break up, and then have the sad song at the end of summer. Plenty of time.
That's a good way to put it.
It's trying to put a positive spin on it.
There you go.
That's what summer is all about. Go out there, fall in love, break up by the end of summer, go back to school, and everyone is sad again because school is
We've
starting.
been there a couple of times. Yeah,
Just a few times.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, y'all have spent a wonderful hour here with Al Sylverfish live here in the studio. Al, otherwise known as Alex Blanco, who also has a wonderful show here on WHUP called the Latin Alternative Music Show, and you're going to hear the Latin Alternative Music Show in about 30 minutes, 8 o'clock, top of the hour. That's going to kick off. We're at a point in the show where we're going to end the live stream, though, and we're going to flip over to just the broadcast signal. So y'all who are interested in sticking around, you're going to turn off the live stream here in just a moment and flip over to WHUPFM.org, where you can hear the rest of the show. We're going to hear some music that Alex brought in, and he's going to tell us kind of why he's playing these songs for us, why he wants you to hear them, and what they mean to him in his life. So there's going to be kind of a whole life story here. We have 2 hours worth of that playlist we're going to compress down into 30 minutes, so it should be interesting. Anyway, we're at the point of the show where Al waves goodbye, and we flip over to the broadcast signal again. Thanks, y'all. Join us here next week. Okay, we're free.